Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
In this video, we will watch a clip and demonstrate the ignorance of the Orthodox priest and missionary Daniel Sysoev, who tries to respond to some of the questions raised against his faith, namely concerning the doctrine of the Trinity in the Bible and the alleged deity of Christ. We will address his responses inshallah, but let us briefly mention something important. The proof text for Trinity should mention how the three mentioned together are one in substance and possess equal ontological authority. Not just, oh look, three are mentioned here, therefore they are ontologically one God together. This is a weak argument that is of no value. Now, let us watch the clip and take note how anxiously he is speaking.
Ни в Ветхом Завете, ни в Новом Завете не говорится о троичности Божества прямо, и равно как и не говорится прямо о богочеловеческой сущности Иисуса Христа устами самого Иисуса Христа, подчеркиваю. Нигде Бог не говорит «Я есть Троица, поклоняйтесь мне триединому». Иисус нигде не говорит «Я есть Бог, поклоняйтесь мне». В Библии этого нет. Вы признаете этот факт?
Спасибо. Нет, не признаю. Пример очень простой. Евангелие говорит, Христос говорит, шедшие научитесь все народы, крестя во имя Отца и Сына и Святого Духа. Прямое свидетельство триединства существует в Новом Завете.
He first tries to answer the question whether the Trinity can be found in the New Testament. He appeals to Matthew 28:19 to prove the Trinity, to which we respond, the mere mention of three beings or realities in one sentence is not necessarily a statement of ontological truth. For example, Revelation 1:4 mentions God and the seven spirits and Jesus together as the one source of grace, just as Paul mentions God, the elect angels, and Jesus in 1 Timothy 5:21 together. Now, if we go by the missionary Daniel's logic, we would have to conclude that the elect angels and the seven spirits are part of the Godhead, because they are mentioned together with God. The truth is, we cannot simply conclude that the Godhead now consists of those mentioned together, as should be evident. As for being baptized into someone's name, Paul states in his writings that the Israelites were baptized into Moses. As for the phrase "in the name of," as used throughout the Bible, it is most commonly reflective of someone who is acting under the authority of someone or acting as their disciple or follower.
В сказано в книге пророка Исаии сказано: «Приступите ко мне», 48 глава, 16 стих, «Слушайте меня, я и сначала говорил не тайно, с того времени, как происходит, я там, и ныне послал меня Господь Бог и Дух Его. Так говорит Господь, Искупитель твой, Святой Израиль. Я Господь Бог твой, научающий тебя полезному. Идущий тебя по тому пути, которым давно тебе идти». Упоминаются все три личности и Отец. И...
He then tries to prove the Trinity from the Old Testament. But before we dive into the butchering of the text by the missionary, it's important to remember that the chapter and verse divisions did not exist in the original writing of the Bible. Therefore, to find out who it is that is sent with the Spirit, all we have to do is look at the context beginning with Isaiah 48:12, which states, "Listen to me, Jacob, Israel, who I have called." Read that up until Isaiah 49:3, which states, "He, God, said to me, you are my servant Israel, in whom I will display my glory." The Trinitarian scholars differ amongst themselves on who the speaker is. We suggest Albert Barnes's Bible commentary on Isaiah 48:16, which explains the misuse of this passage to support the doctrine of the Trinity. Even if we grant that the speaker is, in Isaiah 48:12, is Jesus, it does not prove the doctrine of the Trinity. On the contrary, it proves he is not God. If we read it in light of Acts 10, which states that God anointed Jesus with the Holy Spirit to heal the sick.
И вообще мест, говорящих о триединстве в Священном Писании и Ветхого и Нового Завета, несколько сотен. Таким же образом, множество мест есть, где Господь прямо говорит об том, что Он Бог. Он говорит: «Я и Отец одно». Это очевидное совершенно утверждение богочеловечности. И таких примеров.
Now he tries to prove the alleged deity of Christ from the New Testament by appealing to John 10:30. We'd respond, simply read John 17:21, where Christ prays to God to make the disciples alongside himself and God into one. Even Trinitarians like John Calvin concede John 10:30 has nothing to do with the so-called deity of Christ.
Великое множество. Я уж не говорю даже про простейшую вещь, когда он отвечает на слова Петра: «Блажен ты, Симон, сын Ионин, потому что не отец не плоть и кровь открыли тебе это, то есть, что он является Христом, Сыном Бога Живого, но Отец насущий на небесах. Таким образом, утверждение Бога воплощения есть множество в Новом Завете. Было времени, и Ветхий Завет привел, но это тема отдельного разговора, который не хочу сейчас вводить. И тема триединства, она есть и в Ветхом.
Mark 8:29 and Luke 9:20 do not mention the Son of the Living God edition. Rather, only that Jesus is the Messiah of God. Even if we grant Matthew's edition, being called the Messiah or Son of the Living God is not a proof text for deity, as should be evident. In fact, Peter could have said the living God, but he did not call Jesus that. The exaggerated conclusions the missionary Daniels arrives at from these passages further shows the weakness of the Trinitarian proofs and faith. Praise be to Allah, the creator of Jesus.
وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.